Hi, Em. Long time no see.
Good evening, B. Something seems to be new with you.
I don't know what are you referring to.
You might have shaved a couple of days ago or something.
Well, if by a couple of days ago you mean like this morning, yeah. I have to look humane as possible. As human as possible.
Yep. So what's been going on since our last episode where we talked about post-corona? This is still post-corona,
Yeah,
but a bit post-corona. I hear you're going out and having coffee with people.
Yeah, well, some people that I know, my mother, was not all too happy about that because she was like, how are you going to keep your mask when you're drinking coffee? And I had no counter argument, even though we were keeping the social distance, but still. So, I'm a social type, what can I say?
I went to church yesterday.
Yesterday. Oh,
yesterday.
You know, the funny thing is, you told me that I am going to church tomorrow, but because I'm at home all the time, I thought that you told me that today. And I was like, well, why do you miss church so much if you were like there yesterday? And only now do I realize that, yeah, it's Monday. It's Monday.
Yeah, I was basically like, I'm wondering how many people are simply going to ignore the new government measures that prohibit more than 10 people gathering in
and
one
it's
place.
all of them.
And it turns out it's about 50-60 people completely ignoring that because the church was full.
Well, did they keep social distance?
Like, and to the no.
Well,
Not me though. I kept social distance.
Well, yeah. Thank God that you can always count that. By the way, have you noticed what is the emptiest place in an Orthodox church?
Emptiest place in the Orthodox Church. Well, honestly, it depends, but it depends. The altar.
Well, okay, a place that you can access.
I can access the altar. Well,
well
okay, I can't.
Your wife can't.
I can't.
So.
I can't. Yeah. Besides the altar, in cases when there's no choir, that will be the gallery. In case that the gallery exists. And if we're ignoring that, some churches have like a bell tower that's always empty.
The place where you can attend the liturgy, not like church basement, church office.
You can be in the bell tower. I've had many a liturgy in the bell tower.
Yeah, but isn't that the same as like the choir loft, like directly?
Yeah, it's right next to it.
Man.
You know, like you don't know this, but when you're like in a church choir, and it's the middle of the divine liturgy, and you desperately need to cough.
Okay. I can.
Or pass gas. I just had to. It was so. I just had to. But anyways, you desperately need to cough, or for example, you need to blow your nose when this happens,
and it echoes.
Or it echoes. It echoes everywhere. It echoes across. Like you cannot like cough in the gallery, right? And not have everybody in the church be like,
"What's happening?"
Yeah. And especially people are so concentrating during the divine liturgy and so, exalted and full of good stuff. So they would never they wouldn't notice. But anyways, when I would have to like cough or something like that, I might like exit the gallery into the staircase, which is adjacent to it's basically a bell tower. And I'll do my thing. I'll go back. But anyways, what I wanted to say is all you guys who had at some point has sent us the names. I was able to I was able to mention you during the liturgy, so that's a big plus. If I didn't go, it would have been my 4th week without the Divine Liturgy, and I would be like, I just had to go. I was like, I will be like, I will sit like across the street from the church as long as I'm there. You know, I was like, that's what I would have done if there was like, if there were like police or anything, because right now things are just awful.
You would listen to the bells, just like marking the parts of the service.
Absolutely. I most definitely would. I didn't go to sing with the choir. I did get some looks because of it, but it is what it is. I've been skipping choir like since I got, you know, my first kid. It was no longer like a viable commitment for me to keep. So I've been like a very casual, sometimes would appear part of the choir. But anyways, I was actually outside of the church. During the liturgy, but it was wonderful. I so needed it. And I finally had some conversations and decided, believe it or not, you're going to be happy about this, but I've decided to have a very serious conversation with my priest so that I can get blessing to get to receive communion a bit more often. I mean, I fasted for a month and I couldn't go to the Divine Liturgy. I was it was too much for me to bear, and I'm literally gonna I'm gonna politely ask for blessing to like take communion without fasting previously. But you know, the general position is, if you're fasting or all fasts, attending Divine Liturgy, doing the Wednesday and Friday fast as well, more or less you should be able to receive communion every week. But it's a topic I don't want to start now, especially because you're very opinionated. I just can't.
No. I wouldn't really. But besides, we already discussed this. Whatever the priest told you, he told you. So go and do that.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, obviously. So I had this dream the other day. And
dream is a wish your heart makes.
No, it's not. Dream is a ridiculous thing your brain makes. It's like I don't remember my dreams usually, you know.
Which is a pity, because I really wanted to have a dreams episode where we share our weirdest dreams. But yeah, I would be the sole participant.
I don't... Look, I can be a great listener. I can. Pinky promise.
All right.
Let's do the dreams episode.
But you have to share your dream now.
But yeah, I shall. As much as I can remember, obviously. So what happens is sometimes I will remember the dream. There are like only two reasons why I might remember a dream. One, I would wake up because of it. Okay. Doesn't have to be a nightmare. It just has to be like very intense. It wakes me up and I'm like having a very hard time discerning reality from whatever I was partaking in, in the dream. And the second thing is when the dream is so weird that I just can't shake it off, and it absolutely influences the rest of my day, week, month, and sometimes beyond. This one that I just had definitely was that. Believe it or not, my brain managed, and I blame the weather changes. So I suffer from what we here in Serbia call something like meteoropathy. That's how we call it in Serbia, like suffering from the weather. There is something similar in the English language. My business partner told me recently, but I forgot. But for all of you Spanish-speaking people, you might be familiar with the term pachorra. That's it, pachorra.
Weather pains.
Well, yeah, suffering from the weather.
Dolores de tiempo.
Basically,
by the way, I'm so glad that in Spanish, the word weather and time are synonymous, like in Serbian. So yes, do go on with your weird dream.
Sí, el dolor. So you know what happened? My brain merged every single phase of my life into one thread.
So you were like a lump.
It was unbelievable. So right, you know, I can separate like phases of my life, something like, you know,
Okay.
daycare / kindergarten, elementary school, middle school, change of you know, high school, change of friends during high school, then college, then 5 different phases in college, and then there's like career phase, and there's like family / career phase, you know,
podcast
life,
phase.
Life. So life.
Okay.
And it all merged together. And it was ridiculous. I honestly can't like fully describe the
and
chaos.
I can't even imagine what it's like. What does it feel to have your life merged? Like, you know,
it feels just like you would imagine.
I can't
unstable.
Can't imagine it.
No, unstable.
But I can't imagine it.
You know, it's like it's merging of the planes.
I can't imagine it. No.
No, but you've been to like a gymnasium, right? You've attended a gymnasium, right? Did you have chemistry classes? So you remember when you like mix things that are not supposed to be mixed?
We didn't have that cool kind of chemistry. We had that boring kind of chemistry where it was like cramming the formulae and doing different assignments and cramming the theory. It wasn't. No.
I don't think anybody had.
Well, by the way, I mean, did you watch? Like, did you watch Interstellar?
Yes.
What you're describing sort of reminds me of what the main character is going through, sort of.
Yes and no. Yes and no. Because for, you know, as it is with dreams, somehow it all served the purpose. You know, somehow it all just worked. Even though it was ridiculous. And I remember absolutely thinking to myself, this is
what
ridiculous.
A wonderful world.
Like, so first of all, I had a guide through the dream. And the guide was an acquaintance of mine who has passed away, actually. Believe it or not, he would be our age right now. He passed away in 2015. And the poor guy just got a heart attack. I mean, it was ridiculous. God rest his soul. And he was my guide. Like him and me, we were never friends. It was a bit ridiculous. And he, like, the main story was that he led me to rescue this friend of mine from college. And this, by the way, I know this guy somewhere from the elementary school, and his father attends the church that I attend. He's a very, very cool guy. So that's the connection, right? And we are walking. He's like telling me, like, you're the only one, you know, who can do this. She's in grave danger. She's about to marry like that guy, unknown person. And I'm like, well, okay, but can you explain to me? They don't know what the problem is. Well, you know, they're not a good fit. It's a match made in hell. It's, you know, something like that. And you know what? You're like, they're gonna be doing it too much. And I'm like, what? And it was literally, man. That's how ridiculous it was. Like, I was talking about, like, you know, they're gonna have relations. Well, yeah, but it's going to be like, they're gonna be doing it so much. It simply cannot work. I'm like,
okay. Well, good luck explaining that to her.
yeah. So I'm like, okay, so what do we do? Obviously. And he's like, well, come with me. We're going to his place where they are throwing a party. And
okay.
you're going to talk to her.
Oh, man.
But I also work in a gym.
You.
I don't know why.
Okay.
Yes.
Well,
I don't
why
know
not?
why.
Why
I don't
not?
know why. But the scene is switching from me walking towards that
Party.
building, right, to me working at the gym. I remember somebody clearly saying, don't worry, I have a solution for you. There's a great gym. Go work there, blah, blah, blah. They gave me a t-shirt. Suddenly, I'm working in the gym. I have no idea what the job is. But I'm working at the gym. People are approaching me. Trust me. People are approaching me. We're having conversations, wonderful conversations with smiles and all of that. But somehow, this gym is located within my kindergarten. And so as people are walking away, like exiting the gym / kindergarten, some people are coming in. And this girl that I'm supposed to rescue, she's one of them.
Okay.
Like, oh wow, she's attending my gym. By the way, I have no idea what my job is, right? But that's my gym. I have a t-shirt. I've been walking around for some reason.
And you approach her and say, you don't know me, but we met once upon in a dream.
Oh, God. No, then she started singing, I know you walked with me once upon a dream. No, the thing is, we know each other.
Okay.
Like we know each other from college. She's like a girl from college.
Sure.
And I can't approach her because I have no grounds to explain to her what the problem is.
You're going to do it too much.
It's like ridiculous. So I hide, and the scene switches to this party.
Okay, that was
that's
quick.
not that's not the party that I was supposed to go crash and like rescue the girl from too much, you know. It's a party. It's like one of those things like 5 years after graduation, 10 years after graduation. But it's merged between my friends from elementary and high school and college.
Yeah. Wow.
So, but the party ends abruptly, and we all walk back home. Somehow, we're walking through my old neighborhood, like my old street, and we're all walking. People from college, high school, elementary school, and everybody's like, you know, like people are just like walking away. Somebody's going to this road, taking this road. Somebody's taking that road. Hey, that's my building over there. Like we are slowly like separating, and people are entering buildings they most certainly did not live in. I can tell you that much. And I'm finally approaching my the building where I used to live. Where my apartment was, and I'm with two friends left. Two friends are left in the crowd. I can't remember the guy, but there was also a girl whom I remember because she was probably the connection there because she went with me to both elementary school and high school. So symbolically, she was the last one. And here I am coming across the guys from church. Whom I met like the last in the entire picture, right? And I'm like, hey guys, what's up? You know, and they're like, hey, you must be coming back from that, you know, celebration or whatever. And yeah, like where are you going? So we're gonna hit the no. So we're gonna hit the you know, the hex grid. What a hex grid is. So what's the name of the one object in the
hexagram? Yeah.
Hexagram.
Yeah.
Is it a hexagram?
You sure? I'll check, but I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, because the dream is in Serbian. Sorry. So we're hitting the hexagon. I don't think it's called like that, but let's call it.
Oh
like
no
that.
no! Sorry. I think it's hexagon. Yeah, hexagram.
So yeah,
is
exactly.
actually like a David Starr.
David Starr.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
Okay. We found out something new today.
You're so religious. So they're telling me basically we're hitting the hexagons, and I'm like, I immediately connect and merge two places. One place which is across my street where they were going towards, and the other place is a place where I used to hang out during high school with my second group of people in high school, and they both merged into that hexagons thing, and I completely was able to picture them there, and I'm like, hey, I might join you. That's where the dream broke apart, right? And I can't really give you all the details and all of that. But you know what the epilogue is?
You saved the girl.
The day after, I speak over Facebook Messenger. I speak I do an audio call with a very good friend of mine from childhood. He's actually now living in Canada. And we've spoken for like 1 hour, and we finally connect the dots that the last time we saw each other was at the funeral of my guide from my dream. And I'm like, I can't take this. Like, what's next?
Oh yeah.
What's next? It was like very spooky. It was super spooky. But that's not the epilogue I was actually talking about. The epilogue was after I woke up and finally got to shake off the weirdness of the dream. I remembered so many things from my childhood that it's ridiculous. Like, I have full memories, very vivid, along with the flashbacks and very like small things, accidental things that you remember. And I was hit with nostalgia for like 24 hours straight.
Yeah.
It was so awkward. Like, coffee didn't heal it, which was my full expectation. So, I thought like to share this dream with you and, the listeners / viewers of the Chronicles, and kind of ask you, do you have like a strong memory from childhood?
Well, the thing is, I don't have like I sort of do have a lot of memories from my childhood, but none of them are how shall I put this, so exciting as to warrant some long story. I do have bits and pieces. It was more about the atmosphere. I think I had literally perfectly happy childhood, and this apartment that I currently live in, this is the second apartment I have lived in. Previously, I lived in a different Belgrade municipality, and the since my birth in 86 till 96 or 95 even. So for nearly or even 10 years. And the apartment that we lived in was tiny, like tiny. I mean, it wasn't exactly like shoebox apartment, but I mean, it did have a bedroom, it did have a bathroom, living room, kitchen,
That's an apartment.
But the thing is, it was located on the ground floor, but underneath, it was sort of pushed back, so I don't think we ever got a lot of daylight in there, So it's no surprise that my parents really wanted to move, apart from the fact that it was very tiny, but also like I think that such an apartment is only fit for mushrooms to grow and not much else, much less children. So I don't know. I did have some memories, like for example, my mother, she tends to be afraid of animals. If it's an animal she knows very well, it's fine, but if it is a known animal, she tends to be terrified. And
You guys had a
yeah, we
cat.
had a Persian cat. But before that time, we had this stray cat called Mitza that would come to our window, and we would feed her. One day, Mitza got into our apartment, went under the coffee table in the living room, and my mother was like sitting on the couch, and she, picked up her legs, and she began the staring game with Mitza because she was so scared. And how cats are, like they will stand there, they will know that you're afraid, and they will just stare at you. And it was like she spent like, I don't know, some half an hour like that. Also, my mother is absolutely terrified of horror movies or anything resembling a horror movie. So my dad says, "Oh, there's going to be this great, awesome movie in the evening. It's really famous. Oh, what's it called? The Silence of the Lambs. Oh, what's it about? It's about policemen. Oh, nice." That's one way to put it. And so the movie begins, and like moments after the movie began, my dad fell asleep. So this is 86. TVs do at least the TV that we had did not have a remote. My mother simply sat there, absolutely paralyzed with absolute fear. Like she couldn't move, and and at one point, I don't know if the movie was over, Dad wakes up, and what did I miss? And she starts like hitting him. "You idiot! You moron!" Like some 10 years ago, we were watching a movie, and in that movie, these two criminals kidnap a family of 3, father, daughter, and son. And my mother is like, "Oh, this is going to be a great family movie." Like, so like they're sort of kidnapped, but they will become friends along the way. And so this group comes to a motel to spend the night. The movie is from dusk till dawn. Technically, the survivors did become friends.
Yeah, they were so tight at the end.
Yeah, I mean, but I was an industrious young kid. When I was little, my grandfather from my father's side, he gave me this little piggy bank. I mean, it wasn't shaped like a piggy, but I don't know what else to call it. Kid's deposit box. I made it my goal to save money in that deposit box for this beautiful vase that I have seen in some shop window. I mean,
hold on, how young were you?
I don't know, maybe 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't know.
So, somewhere between the age of 6 and 10, you wanted to buy a vase.
Yeah, because it was pretty. Because at that time, vases, or so you thought, especially those like big, huge Minga-like vases, are something that rich people had. Also, at that time, I sort of believed that precious stones and gemstones attracted wealth. That is why rich people had a lot of them, and that is why they could afford them, because all those stones were actually attracting wealth. That wasn't true. That wasn't true at all.
Boyan buys a vase.
No, I did not buy it. I never bought it. Actually, I think I have only seen it maybe like once or twice. But you get a safety deposit box, and you start saving for the first pretty thing you see in your life, and you're going to.
Boy, since I was this small. That was small.
Ye big.
I was buying gadgets. Like, did you know in elementary school, primary school, whatever you call it, like somewhere like between the age of 8 and 10 maybe, I had this digital watch, and I had it had like numbers on it, and you could like type like you would type on a phone, on a mobile phone that would come a bit later.
Yeah.
Still didn't exist. I had my entire phone book of all of my friends in that digital watch.
How old were you?
I'm telling you, somewhere between 8 and 10. I used to type in notes. Like I used to write songs. Did you know that when I was a kid?
No.
I used to write songs, and I had songs on that digital watch. I'm wondering if I'd kept it, if I would be able to like retrieve whatever.
Why not?
I had.
You should retrieve it if you ever find it.
I don't know. I might go and look for it in my father's, box of ye old stuff.
By the way, speaking of which, because I was drawing vase.
Boy wants to buy a vase, and I'm like,
It's
super califragilistic, awesome pocket watch, or like hand watch, or wrist
the differences
watch,
were showing since the young age, and
Yes.
also like when I was little, I had absolutely no concept of fan art, but I was fan of a certain franchise that I won't name, not because I'm ashamed of that specific franchise, but
Boyan, B, you shall name the franchise.
Not.
The franchise shall not be left unnamed.
Anywho,
yes, first letter.
No.
Second letter?
Absolutely
Second
not.
letter? Third letter? Muppet
No.
Show? That's not a franchise?
Well, that's definitely a franchise, but it's not Muppet Show.
M. What year was this?
I don't know, maybe like 94. You won't guess it. I mean, you can, but you might, but the odds are quite low.
I mean, it's when you say it was a franchise, like a TV show, right?
There was a TV show of it, yes.
There was a TV show of it.
Okay. Anywho.
Please do go on.
Anyway, I was a fan of it, and during the wait. Let's see how creepy our audience is. If somebody guesses it, you'll get a thank you note from me. There you go.
Does this franchise originate from comic books?
No.
The television series?
No. Anyway.
Films,
I'm
video
stopping
games,
right now. I'm
board games,
stopping
card
right
games.
now.
Okay.
So anyway.
I'm so curious. Like the curiosity is like eating me. It's eating me. It's eating. Why
know
did you
that I will
tell
you after we record.
You're a bad person. Write it down. Write it.
Anywho.
Send it to me.
No. You're going to blurt it out. Whenever I tell you, let us not talk about, let us not mention, you blurt it out.
It only happened twice. In my defense,
and I only told you twice. I call it the pear juice syndrome.
The pear juice?
Hey kids, I'm going out. What kind of juice would you like? Everything but the pear. Okay. And what juice do you get? The pear juice. By the way, I love pear juice. This is the story from my mother's childhood.
So do I, but I don't juice anymore.
Well, yeah, but if you did.
But pear juice?
I love it.
Mucho gusto.
Technically, I love all juices. Maybe not like, maybe not a huge.
Well, cherry juice is also very good.
Not a fan of peach juice. I mean, I can drink it, but not a fan anymore. It is a.
But
pineapple juice is the thing. That one will never get old. Never.
And you will never lose.
Never. And I'll die happy. Anywho, so there was this franchise, and I was making fan art of it. But it wasn't just drawing that thing. I was combining it with something which was much more mature, darker, grittier, and so on. Sort of like imagine combining uh, my Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, or whatever it's called, with, for example, Berserk. Something like that.
Berserk, the manga, the anime.
Like
combining those
like
two.
Something very bright, colorful, happy, and something very dark and gritty. It was, I mean, for my age, those illustrations were great, but they're so cringy. Like, if I found one of them today, I would destroy it. Like, no. This, like, then again, in the case somebody does consider my canonization, I would leave it in the room.
Hold on. Did you hear the heretic alarm?
Doesn't matter. I would keep it in the room just so it would technically be a relic, as something that I had made and that had belonged to me, and it would. It would be so cringy and awkward for people to like venerate it, and oh man, I would pay to see it.
like how many people in the entire world would ever think like this? By the way, if there was ever an algorithm for canonization, I bet this is a section that leads to no.
Yeah, definitely.
like most certainly. Like this, I know where this thread ends.
Like plans his own canonization. No. So, for example, there was that. Oh man.
But I used to write songs, man. Like I was a nice kid. Look at you. You God only knows what kind of creepy abominations.
Okay. Actually, I have a great memory. But I would have to spoil the franchise. Okay, guys.
You know everybody needs to know.
Guys. Like, no. This memory is so great that I will have to spoil the franchise. It's worth it. Okay, guys. If you wanted to guess the franchise, now is the last moment. I will trust you that you won't go forward in this video. So.
No, he will not.
No, I will. It's.
No, we'll do a premiere.
Oh, God, no. Oh, yeah, okay, fine. Technically, I love all juices. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na.
Hold on. Did you hear the heretic alarm go off somewhere?